Welcome to a new program, 7 Minutes Class by Gurudev IAS and KS Academy. Today, we're gonna learn about submarine. Have you ever wondered, even though ships are made up of steel and are heavy, they do not sink? Not just that, submarines come to surface and submerge whenever they wish to do so. How do they do that? In this video, we are going to cover everything about submarine that you need to know. Their working principle, how do they sink and come back to the water surface? How do they live in the submarine? And at last, submarines that are present with Indian Navy. We all know particles with less density float or immerse partially in water. Whereas take an example of stone in the water. As it sinks, it displaces some amount of the water. The amount of the water displaced is equal to the volume of body. This principle is called as Archimedes principle. Important factor here is buoyancy, that is, the upward buoyant force that is exerted on a body immersed in a fluid, whether fully or partially, is equal to the weight of the fluid that the body displaces. Buoyant force is equal to the weight of the fluid that it displaces. Gravity is downwards, whereas buoyant force is acting upwards towards the body. This is what makes ship float in the water even though they are heavy. How much ever weight you put, they do not sink due to the buoyant force. The more weight you put, proportionally, buoyant force increases up to a limitation point. This was all about how a ship doesn't sink and they keep afloat in the water. Now, let us take an example of a submarine. We all know as you go depth into the water, the density of the water increases. Therefore, practically, let it be any scuba diver or any submarine in the world, they go as long as the 600 meters only. For anyone who wish to go into the depth of water, the pressure of water pushing inward is the biggest problem. To deal with this water pressure pushing inward to the submarine, they are built up with the pressure hull. Now, this is a cross-section view of a submarine, that is, when looked at it from behind. They are made up of hulls, especially two hulls. One is called as inner hull and another one is outer hull. The strongest submarines have hulls made from the tough steel or titanium. This deals with the problem of the water pressure coming inward into the submarine. Now, they have also something called as ballast tanks. Now, these ballast tanks are nothing but space in between two hulls. These spaces can be filled with either water or air. Suppose you fill the ballast tank with the air, the submarine weight becomes less. Therefore, density of the submarine is less than the density of the water. It moves up. Now, suppose you fill these ballast tanks with water, weight of the submarine increases, thus increasing the density of the submarine with respect to the density of the water that is surrounding it. Therefore, it moves down. Here is an example. Here, submarines' ballast tanks are not filled completely with the water. They are partially filled with air and partially with the water. Therefore, the submarine is at the surface. Whereas, if you fill the ballast tanks with the water, it submerges. If you let the water out and let the air inside the ballast tanks, the submarine moves up. So, if you want a submarine to come up to the surface, you will fill the ballast tank with the air. And if you want it to submerge, you will fill the ballast tank with the water. Apart from these hulls and ballast tanks, they are also made up of all the apparatus and the instruments that is required for their voyage, like sonar system, periscope and electronic monitors, crew mess hall, batteries, nuclear reactor, engine compartment, missile, torpedo room, etc. and everything that is required for their traveling. How do they survive in such depth of the water? How do they live normally there? We all know for a human being, in order to survive or in order to breathe, we inhale oxygen and we exhale carbon dioxide. Oxygen can be pumped into the submarine from pressurized tanks, but carbon dioxide has to be let out, but submarine is completely sealed. For this purpose, they have something called as scrubbers. These scrubbers are nothing but machines made up of soda lime, because the soda lime can absorb carbon dioxide. Soda lime is a mixture of sodium hydroxide and calcium oxide in the granular forms. They are very good absorbents of the carbon dioxide. Now, moving on to the submarines that are present with the Indian Navy. Do you know which was the first submarine of India? Yes, we borrowed INS Kalavari, the first submarine of India, from USSR in the year 1967. First time that Indian Navy hurled its flag or hoisted its flag upon any submarine was INS Kalavari. INS Kalavari was the first submarine that was inducted into the Indian Navy in the year 1967. At the Port Riga in the Latvia district of USSR on 8th December 1967. This is why every year on 8th December we celebrate Indian Navy Submarine Day. Now, the name Kalavari. Reason they gave the name Kalavari was Kalavari means tiger shark in Malayalam language because tiger sharks are predominantly found in the Indian Ocean. Currently, there are 17 submarines in service in Indian Navy. Two of them are nuclear powered submarines and they belong to Chakra and Arihant class, whereas rest 15 of them are diesel electric submarines. They belong to the class Shishumar, Kalavari and Sindhu Ghosh. We also have a museum called INS Kursura Submarine Museum in Vishakhapatnam. It belongs to a Kalavari class. It is predominantly known for its contribution during 1971 Indo-Pak War. It was India's fifth submarine. It was commissioned on 18 December 1969 and decommissioned on 27 February 2001 after 31 years of service. So, this was all about submarines. Every day, in the same manner, we're going to come up with new topics. Please comment what kind of topics you would like in this format. And yes, never forget to wear your mask. Stay home, stay safe. Hope you enjoyed this video and learned something. Do like, share and subscribe.